Where does the desire come from, and what is the desire? Obviously, I know you love to fight.
Money. I like making money. Straight up, like, this is a prize fighting sport. Like, I've been broke. My family's been broke. I know what this shit means, and I do it like because I'm good at it and I hustle hard. And when it's all said and done, no one will care about me no more. So I gotta make the most of it while I'm here.
I know what y'all thinking. He been training with Derrick James for only 3 months and already he talking like a PBC fighter. Oh, man. Now, this is the thing. If you'd have asked Anthony Joshua that 2 or 3 years ago, that wouldn't have been his answer at all. Which makes me believe that, I mean, don't get me wrong. They're all about the money at the end of the day. But quiet as kept, Anthony Joshua been made enough money to walk away from the sport. So at this point, anything he's doing is a cherry on top, you know, because he's already made more than enough money. And I'm pretty sure that he invested right. Anthony Joshua don't strike me as the type of person that spend recklessly or nothing like that. This is what I think actually happened to Anthony Joshua. Although there's nothing wrong with, you know, making money and getting money. If it was really about money for Anthony Joshua, then you have to understand that Anthony Joshua has already taken unnecessary routes. If he was just trying to access the money, we already know that Anthony Joshua could have pretty much been fighting anybody and, you know, get the same outcome. You know, so when he says that he's about making money, I think what happened was, in a nutshell, he figured out what Floyd figured out. You know, when Floyd turned over from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather. See, the thing about Pretty Boy Floyd did it all. He did it by the book. He appealed to what boxing enthusiasts would count as, you know, a solid fighter, you know, moving in that direction and stuff like that. Floyd Mayweather did all that, you know, and what he noticed is that those belts and all that stuff at the end of the day, and the way people treat boxing, like, they don't care. So that's why Money Mayweather, instead of being the fighter that he was as Pretty Boy, you know what I'm saying? Pretty Boy really wanted to prove everything, and Pretty Boy did prove everything. But what he realized is that it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. He could have fought the best people, the best after the best after the best after the best. If people don't want to give you your credit at the end of the day, they're just not going to give you your credit. And that's what Floyd figured out. And that's why Floyd put on the whole Money Mayweather persona, because at that point in his career, it was about getting the money. He figured out what actually works in boxing, what actually counts in boxing. And he chose to get his paper while at the same time still fighting the best. And the thing with Anthony Joshua is, if he just wanted to get his paper, he didn't have to take on people like Alexander Usyk. You wouldn't have a resume like Anthony Joshua has if you were a person just pursuing money at the end of the day. I think Anthony Joshua has done so much in the sport, and he realized, with all that I have done, I get less credit from people who are barely doing anything. You know, everybody want to take away my accolades. I went out here and I fought the best. I got the best heavyweight resume, hands down. Yet people still treat me like I haven't done nothing. People still doubt me. People still try to take stuff away from me. People still try to detract my accomplishments. All of what I've done. The only thing I tried to do is pursue boxing how he thought people wanted boxing to be pursued. The best fighting the best, making the best fights, unifying, becoming undisputed, all that stuff. You know, Anthony Joshua really had that goal. Anthony Joshua is honestly one of the only people that I could say that there was no ducking with this guy. There was no cherry picking with this guy. Anthony Joshua didn't cherry pick nobody. He fought the best of the best that there is in his division. And if he didn't, he pursued the best fights in his division, even if he wasn't able to make those fights. And he just realized at the end of the day, with all my efforts, with all of what I've done, with all of what I've achieved, with all of the top 10 heavyweights that I have beat, people still talk about me like I am not nothing. So when he said, I'm just pursuing the money now, I think that he's disenfranchised by the way he was treated. So now when they say, well, what's the mission? What's the goal now? This is that. Now Anthony Joshua says money. But even when he says money, a part of me don't believe him. And that's simply because of the way that he's been moving. Anthony Joshua got more than enough money. And like I said, he didn't have to go the route that he went. He could have took an easier route and it would have been okay. And people pretty much too much wouldn't have said nothing. He could just milk his situation. You know what I'm saying? You could put Anthony Joshua, especially at one point in time before his loss, you could put Anthony Joshua in the ring with anybody and it's going to do good numbers. Period. But the bottom line is, with all that he has done, he doesn't get no credit for it. So now he has the mentality of just wanting to get the money. And even though he says that, I know that that's not everything. I know Anthony Joshua cares about his legacy, but he don't want to let people know that he cares in that manner because of the way boxing has treated him. And this is where the fans come into play. See, you guys talk about you want to see the best fight the best. You guys complain about people stalling fights. You guys complain about people aging people out. Well, check this out. Once you get a person that moves how we're asking these boxers to move, what do we do to them? We throw them in the trash, we throw them away, and we discredit them. It ain't no way in hell. Anthony Joshua is a heavyweight. He's not a middleweight. You know what I'm saying? He's not none of that. He's a heavyweight. Heavyweights are going to take losses. It's a totally different division. If you're fighting the best in heavyweight, you're going to take a loss. And Anthony Joshua got those losses by pursuing the best in his division. But like I said, he noticed when he did that, no credit came with that. And you guys love people who haven't done half of what he's done or even have the mentality to give the fight fans what they want to see. You guys are loving on Tyson Fury, which it ain't nothing wrong. Tyson Fury is a good fighter, but let's face it, Tyson Fury didn't take his career serious how Anthony Joshua took his career serious. You can tell by the way that they move. Just compare the two. Like, this guy's over here lying, shucking and jiving, doing the bare minimum, fighting one solid fight. You know what I'm saying? And they use that to overshadow the rest of his resume and what he hasn't done. Then what's the point of doing this? What's the point of pursuing the best? What's the point of trying to fight the best? What's the point of trying to prove this? What's the point of taking all these tough matches? At the end of the day, you guys are going to throw me in the trash. So now he's talking about he's about the money. And you know what? The only people that you have to blame for Anthony Joshua's mentality as far as chasing money, which ain't nothing wrong because this is prize fighting. But if you follow Anthony Joshua, that's one of the last things that Anthony Joshua would have said. But he's saying it right now. And that's simply because the boxing world really don't respect fighters that's really about that life. And I've been saying this for a while. This is why I advocate and I preach. And this is why I'm always for the people who are willing to pursue the good fights and try to make the big fights, even if they're not the best fighter. Even if they're not the best fighter, I look at the mentality. I appreciate you trying to give me what I want to see as a boxing fan versus all the people that don't. So it's just gotten to that point now where Anthony Joshua, at least he's trying to portray to us that he doesn't care. But I know deep down he really does care about his legacy and how he's looking. Because like I said, if it was just about the money, you wouldn't move like Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua could have took a much easier route. And like I said, at the end of the day, that falls on the fans.